Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of FRUA Designs number 5, The Realm / the Southlands, Temple of Elemental Evil T1-4. Alright, we're here with our party. Everything seems to be on the up and up. We've got some plate mail +1. We've got everybody leveled up. So we're going to begin adventuring. Again, Rufus offers training and Byrne opens his libraries, albeit cautiously, to all who will pay and show a fit knowledge of the arcane arts. Some of Byrne's hirelings are sufficient to advance any rogues. Do we want to train? No. Training completed, you leave Byrne's tower and you find yourself on the road facing east from Hamlet. The road east leads into the realm, passing beyond numerous farms and the worksite of a great tower. We're going to leave, and we're going to leave for Nulb. 2 roads lead to Nulb. The high road is longer but safer, while the low road winds through the forest and is fraught with peril. We'll take the high road. It's safer. You walk for the better part of the day through bright scenic pastures lined with full leafy trees. The weather is pretty and the temperature fine. You stop for a time in a comfortable copse of oak and pine. You set up camp and rest a bit, trying to relax. The specter of your recent adventures looms overhead, and as you gather your gear, you hear the sound of creatures approaching from the distance. One glance tells you that this will not be a pleasant encounter. What do we got here? Oh my, 2 ogres. Okay. Can't go there. Okay, there's a tree there. We can't target this one because it's in range. What's going on? Oh, you got your dagger. There we are. Let's get a better shot. Ouch. 1 ogre down. Ogres down. Search the area for valuable 61 XP. 2 clubs. I don't think it's wise to detect. There's still treasure left. Yeah, we don't want the clubs. You circle around the river and enter the seedy village of Nulb from the north side. You cross a rickety bridge over a deep river. Part 2, Nulb and the Ruins. The village of Nulb is filthy, ramshackle, and still fairly active despite the destruction of the temple. The buildings are of turf, mud, brick, crudely hewn logs, and old timbers from boats. 1 or 2 have stone foundations and proper boards, but even these are in need of repair. Looking about, you see boatmen, fishers, herdsmen, farmers, and the like. It is apparent no one manages much of a living here. The place is generally avoided by lords and bandits alike. This place appears to be one of the more substantial buildings in Nulb. It has foundation of field stone and walls of sawn timber, but still is a scurvy place. It appears to be a seedy tavern. As you pass through the door, a pair of surly manservants look you over at a distance. At night, the waterside hostel is packed with patrons. Laborers come here after their day's work to drink and debauch. A pair of wenches walk amongst the crowd carrying drinks and enduring endless pinches and slaps. Dick Wrench, the hosteler, approaches you. He has a scarred, pockmarked visage and one eye is hidden beneath an eye patch. Nearby him stands a lanky, greasy-looking barkeep. A round of drinks and dinner will only cost you 1 piece of gold. Who pays? The ale is watery and the food bland and cool, but your stomach is filled. Dick Wrench, the hostler, approach. Okay. Let's rent a room. Dick informs you that rooms cost 1 piece of gold. Who pays? Cyrus. You sleep in a bed, but rest does not come easily. The tavern below is rowdy and loud throughout the night, and there are sounds of people trying your lock on a regular basis. Alright, so we want to... Okay, we have 3 second level spells to memorize. Let's look in the manual here. Be right back. Okay, here's what we have in second level cleric spells. Find traps indicates the presence of traps in the party's path. Snake Charm paralyzes as many hit points of snakes as the cleric has hit points. Spiritual Hammer creates a temporary magical hammer that is automatically readied. It can be thrown and does normal hammer damage. Spiritual hammers can hit monsters that may only be struck by magical weapons. Silent 15-foot radius. Magically dampens all sound in the area around the target. The target character or monster and all adjacent cannot cast spells for the duration of the spell. Hold Person seems pretty useful. May paralyze targets of character types, human, dwarf, etc. You may aim a Hold Person spell at up to 3 targets. Use the exit command to target fewer. Okay. So Hold Person sounds pretty good. Slow Poison might be important. Revives a poison person for the duration of the spell. We may be dealing with poison, so we'll get a Slow Poison. And we'll get another Find Traps. Tessa cannot memorize any more spells. Amanda cannot memorize any more spells. Okay, so let's rest. Okay, we're fixed up. We shouldn't have got a room so quickly, because we could have spent the night looking for people. Oh, that's the... Alright, nobody in the seedy tavern. The smell of foul inks and dyes fills the air around this small, cramped shop. The Weaver of Nulb greets you coarsely and offers you what wares are available for sale. May I help you? Cloak and a robe. The door to this shop is not even latched, though there is clearly no one within. The sign is weather-worn and unreadable. You step into an old dusty shop. The shelves are bare. There is no sign that anyone has been here in many years. The smell from within this shop is sweet and hints at confectionaries. The village baker frowns at you as he offers his day's good for your perusal. This old warehouse is locked securely, and footsteps within tell of a regular guard. By the sound from within, this large old warehouse building houses a small tavern in a back corner. The tavern stretches out to the south. The warehouse area, the larger northern expanse, stands open and empty around you. The innkeeper, Skull, is a man in his middle years, though his well-muscled frame tells of rough early years. He glares at you and offers his ale, which looks more like water than drink. The door opens as you approach it, and a band of pirates stagger in, walking into you. Cursing, they draw blades. Yikes. A pirate's life for me. Yo ho ho, we're killing the pirates. Too bad we can't sweep them. Dead pirate from Amanda's darts. Ooh, pirate hit for 6 damage. That'll teach us to draw swords against me. The party's won. Each shares 13 XP. Spears and leather armor. You know what? Let's load up on the leather armor. We can sell that to Otis when we find Otis. There's still treasure left. No. You there! Get off the floor, you fools! A rough-looking pirate steps into the room, glaring about at his shipmen where they lay. One by one, those who are able to stand do so, lifting their friends and dragging them away. More than one promises revenge under his breath, but none are able to make good on their oaths. Interesting. This dilapidated frame building bears a sign with the name Scrang, Mother Scrang. An aged woman meets you at the door of this establishment. The air is thick and difficult to breathe due to the amount of incense and spices choking the air. Mother Scrang is old and bent, with scraggly gray locks sticking out from beneath the aged shawl she wears. Inside the shop are countless shelves and counters with jars, flasks, boxes, bottles, and small drawers. You peruse Mother Scrang's wares, but there's little of true interest. Oh, we can't do much with Mother Scrang. You stand outside a stable. Only 2 chains hang from over the door to this old empty shop. The door bangs in the wind. You step into an old dusty shop. The shelves are bare. There is no sign that anyone has been here in many years. Still worth a look-see. Judging by the sign over this door, you would assume that this is the shop of the village tanner. A tenor of nulb is a nearly cadaverous woman. She speaks to you not at all, merely glaring as you walk through her shop. The small building shows signs of regular upkeep despite its squalid construction. The shed in the back and the smell of smoke tells you this must be the smithy. Otis. The smith is a powerful man with a bushy beard and large hands that seem to be forever working some piece of iron. Around the place you see a young man and a rat-faced apprentice. Greetings, I am Otis, the smith here in Nulb. I spend most of my time shoeing horses and the like, but I have been known to make the occasional suit of armor. Otis nods and steps aside from his forge. You introduce yourself to Otis and he listens, nodding again. I was told you were coming. I am pleased to meet those who defeated Lareth the Beautiful. He was a bane to all that is good, and would have been more of a threat had he been given time to mature. And now I understand you would like to use your skills and knowledge to further the battle against the Temple of Elemental Evil. Best for you to pretend that you never heard of it. You caught the brigands in the moat house off guard. They were unprepared for you. Given time, though, even the Masters of Chaos will recognize a persistent threat, and then you will be crushed underfoot. Otis watches you, waiting. Do you give up your quest and leave Nulb? No. Otis nods, frowning again. You are attempting the impossible. When one of your number falls dead, do not pretend that you did not realize the magnitude of this quest. When you stand alone and all around you are dead, do not feign ignorance. But if you insist, I shall offer you what support I can without risking the future of our mission here. When you fail, you cannot risk all that we have worked towards in this place. The temple lies to the south. Come here to rest when you need to. When possible, go to Hamlet, but the roads between here and that village, though short, are deadly. Do not try to sleep in the temple unless you are sure to be safe where you stand. In exchange for rest and what information I can provide you, I ask only that you tell me what you find. I shall provide in return what knowledge I might so that you might understand what you discover. And now I offer you a place to prepare and make your first foray into the Temple of Elemental Evil. Know that you are free to leave this land at any time and seek adventure elsewhere. Armies have failed in this quest. At the smithy, you purchase arms and armor. Which? Other. May I help you? A lance. Still basic arms, though. The lance seems interesting, though. Let's sell the leather armor. I was hoping he sold like weapons +1, but we're just not there yet. This is a slow grind in the gold box and FRUA games, which is good. And sell the halberd. Wondering how a lance faces off against a glaive, though. Let me check the old book here. Lance. It's not even listed. So it's added by this module. So I am going to buy it with Gingy and see what it's about. Maybe even better than the be right back. May even be better than the glaive is what I was going to say. So let's sell the leather armor. Pick up 35 quick platinum here. Because I know when we start buying expensive items, the platinum is going to run low on our end. So if we can sell some armors, that's always a good idea. Especially like plate mails and ring mails. Alright, so let's go to Gingy. Okay, his current is 2d6 plus 1. 2d4 plus 1. I wonder if it can hit multiple targets, though, or a range, like it has a range. Whatever, we're going to sell the lance. There might be some good to it, but I don't want to take the less damage. Arrows or bolts? 20 arrows, 20 bolts. Let's buy 100 arrows. So this is our first foray into the temple. This is going to be interesting. Generally, the first floor is filled with undead. Oops, how many times did I hit B? Enough times. Otis listens to what you have to tell him after sending the boy and his apprentice away. He nods at the right moments and jots occasional notes. At the smithy, you rest. You sleep in Otis's cramped extra room above the rafters of the smithy. She can scribe these scrolls, but check out invisibility. Makes the target invisible. The Thako of melee attacks against invisible targets is reduced by 4 and it's impossible to aim ranged attacks at them. Invisibility to dispel when the target attacks or casts a spell. I would rather just have that as an ability to cast. When we need it. At the smithy, you leave. You slip from Otis's home when the street is clear. Informed of where to look, you can now leave Nulb and make your way to the temple. Do you leave now? No, I'm not done. Beyond a few scant shops selling nothing of interest to you, only the wilderness lies south of Nulb. Alright, but there's more to Nulb. From within the shop, you hear the sound of people shouting. A man turns at you drawing a sword. Behind him, his wife scoops up a crossbow. It seems that their quarrel with one another is forgotten. Nearby, their boy unsheathes a short sword. Cautiously, you back out of their home. The door to the east is locked and the sign overhead has been scratched until the letters are no longer visible. He had picked it. You step into an old dusty shop. The shelves are bare. There's no sign anyone has been here in many years. A sign over this door shows a dagger, drawing a drop of blood from the tip of a finger. May I help you? But what are the do slings fire darts? I don't understand slings. Let's see if Amanda could buy one. Amanda buys a sling. What does a sling do? Sling, 1 to 4, 1 to 4. And there's no bullets for it? You just use it? Because darts do 1 to 3 and then 1 to 2 on larger. At least this has a bigger output for her. I wonder if she can use a light crossbow. $20 arrows are $20 here. Amanda could use the darts though. Why not? The shop appears to be empty. Dust is gathered on the shelves of this old place, though tracks on the floor tell of frequent use. You spot some loose floorboards. Prying them up reveals several sacks of coins, mostly copper and silver, and a pouch of 6 carnelians. 279 XP for 6 gemstones. And 87 pieces of gold. Excellent. And Amanda's ready to level up. Door opens as you move to leave, and you find yourself eye to eye with a band of men clad in the garb of seamen. Cursing, they draw their blades to move to attack. I'll buy you a rich life for me. Yo ho ho, there's 3 pirates here. Yo ho ho, pirates I don't fear. Yo ho ho, pirates must die. Yo ho ho, it's either you or I. Alright, let's see if Amanda... She can. Sling for 4 damage and kills one. You don't need bullets for slings. Oh, why is he not using the longbow? You should have known you were horribly outmanned here. 4 XP, we search for valuables. Yeah, we're heading back to there anyway. Might as well take the leather armor. This small warehouse does not appear to be used regularly, though the lock on the door is large. As you stand here, a number of eyes turn on you from the rear of the baker's shop to the northwest. The door to the shop is locked and there is no sign to be seen. The smell from within the shop is sweet and hints of confectionaries. I wonder if I've explored everything. Pick it. You step into an old dusty shop. The shelves are bare. There's no sign that anyone's been here in many years. This seems interesting. I don't really care if they look at me. I'm going in. Can't. The small shop with a fenced-in field behind bears a sign depicting a pair of shoes apparently running down a street. The village cobbler greets you and offers his wares for sale. Some of his boots appear to be worthy of even your arduous path, though his prices raise the eyebrows. May I help you? Boots. For 2. Do they do anything at all? Gingy buys a boots. A Gingy buys a boots. I don't know. This little shop is apparently closed. Judging by the sign over this door, you assume this is the shop of the village tanner. Let's get back to Otis. Scrang. I forget where Otis is. This is Otis's. Alright. Seek training. Otis agrees to train any warriors in your band, though follows if other skills will need to go elsewhere. He asks only the constant supplies needed for advancement. So Amanda cannot train. Interesting. Yes, let's leave now. The road leading from Nulb to the temple is rutted and spotted with rank weeds, thistles, burrs, thorns, nettles, etc. Some foot and animal traffic has been using the track, but it is not a busy thoroughfare. As you approach the temple area, the vegetation is disconcerting. Dead trees with a skeletal appearance, scrub growth twisted and unnaturally colored, all unhealthy and sickly looking and robust and disgusting. The ruins of the temple's outerwork appear as dark and overgrown mounds of gray rubble and blackish weeds. Skulls and bones of humans and humanoids gleam white here and there amidst the weeds. A grove of some oddly stunted and unhealthy-looking usk trees still grows along the northern end of the former temple compound, and a stump of a tower juts up from the northeast corner of the shattered wall. The leprous gray temple, however, stands intact, its arched buttresses somehow obscene with their growth of climbing vegetation. Everything surrounding the place is disgusting. The myriad leering faces and twisting, contorted forms writhing and posturing on every face of the temple seem to jape at the obscenities they depict. The growth in the compound is rank and noisome. Thorns clutch, burrs stick, and crushed stems either emit foul stench or raise angry wheels on exposed flesh. Worst of all, however, is the pervading fear which seems to hang over the whole area, a smothering, clinging, almost tangible cloud of vileness and horror. Sounds seem distorted, either muffled and shrill or unnaturally loud and grating. Your eyes play tricks. You see darting movements out of the corner of your eye, just at the edge of your vision. But when you shift your gaze towards such, of course, there is nothing there at all. You cannot help but wonder who or what made the maze of narrow paths through the weedy courtyard. What sort of thing would wander here and there around the ghastly edifice of evil without shrieking and going mad? Yet the usual mundane sounds of your travel are accompanied only by the chorus of winds moaning through hundreds of temple apertures built to sing like doomed souls given over to the tender mercies of demonkind. These are echoed by the macabre croaks from the scattered flapping, hopping, leering ravens. There is no doubt you have come to a place of ineffable evil. Just looking at this place darkens everything in your eyes. Yikes. So this is going to be wicked, folks. I mean, we're really getting into it here. By far, this is going to be our most challenging event yet. Here we go. These bronze valves are held fast by huge iron chains, and all cracks are sealed with soft iron. Graven upon each portal are magical runes which glow in a silvery radiance. As you stand before them, a primal fear is awakened within you, deep within your psyche where reason has never ruled. As the tremors rive, a wave of palpable magical force shoves you roughly away from the doors. We bash the door down. The floor of this area is reddish-brown slate-like stone, squares each about 2 feet square. The walls are plastered and painted with scenes befitting the nature of the temple. Disgusting acts, killing, torture, enslavement, robbery, thievery, and unspeakable things. The creeds of the worshippers here are all too evident. Evil is flaunted and lionized. Dim light filters through the stained-glass windows, casting revolting colors upon the greenish stones of the floor to the north. In that direction you can see the nave of the temple. The pillars to either hand are of pinkish mineral shot through with worm-colored veins. Their arches lead to an unremarkable pair of lesser side aisles. The columns supporting the archways, as well as the arches themselves, are worked in bas-relief. As with the frescoes in the entryway, the scenes here are ineffable, vile, filthy. It is probable that this area was reserved for the lowliest of worshippers. The area beyond is better lit and more open. Ooh, wicked. I have no idea what to expect. The pillars here are white marble veined with ugly red. The altar block of pinkish white marble is roughly oval, something over 7 feet long by 5 feet wide. Its top has a hollowed out portion resembling a human form with legs apart and arms away from the body. The depression is stained a darker color than the rest. Just north of the altar is a circular marble-lined pit, a well of sorts, 20 feet in diameter. Shards of broken crystal vessels lie about the well near the altar and scattered about the floor. A crystal knife with a broken blade lies atop the altar. You find nothing more of interest. A flight of steps 20 feet wide and each step broad and tall delves down to the north. The stone is a dull gray but flecks of color, white, blue, red, green, and black dot its surface. The thick stone columns here are deep green with blood-red striations. The paving blocks are mossy green with a circular dais-like area about 20 feet wide in the center part of the wing. The dais is two-tiered. Each rises about 18 inches, the inner being 14 feet in diameter, thus forming a 3-foot wide step along the rim of the lower tier. The lower disc is greenish-black stone. The upper disc is blackish-green. The center of this altar has a depression about 8 feet across filled with scummed-over black liquid. Several pieces of smashed shells are scattered around the area. You see a broken bronze knife. Within the filthy water, you find a small, delicate skeleton, the remains of the last sacrifice. This area was apparently a vestry. Bits of broken altar service are present here also, with a broken trident and pieces of torn, scorched robes of a moss-green hue. Other rubble includes several smashed benches, a small broken table, and a thrown-down wardrobe, with one side kicked in and the doors torn off. A flight of stairs descends to the southwest. Under the wardrobe lies 3 moss-green robes lined with black satin. Each has a cowl. All are soiled and obviously of little worth. It's cool imagining this stuff as they explain it to you. To the north, the dais extends south into the temple, forming a circular area. The floor, steps, and walls are black basalt, highly polished and gleaming. 4 steps lead to the upper platform, and upon it is a great throne of purplish basalt, with leering demon faces and carved grinning skulls. A huge bronze vessel chased with copper stands here. Its 6 legs hold it slightly more than a foot above the floor stones. The basin-like pot is 8 feet in diameter. Its bottom is filled with old charcoal, bits of blackened bone, and undefinable lumps. A piece of chain still hangs out over this altar, and evidently others similar also hung there. But their bronze links were broken, and short pieces lie on the floor around the area. The altar's rim is dented and cut as if struck by many hard blows. A huge bronze vessel chased with... I tried to, look for more. And more steps. There's steps all over this place. The supporting pillars in this wing are sandstone, resting on a red slate floor. Bits of broken pottery and sharp bits of rock cover the floor here, making walking about a risky business. The stump of a granite monolith and chunks of brownish-red rock around its base indicate that the altar was violently assaulted and destroyed. A few links of bronze chain, a twisted manacle, and a bronze wood maul with a snapped haft add to the impression that the enemies of the temple who did this must have found the altar very hateful indeed. This door opens into a small vestry. Pieces of broken glass and splinters of crystal lie scattered within. Someone evidently made a fire in the far corner, as bits of charred wood and cloth lie on the floor. The rafters overhead are blackened with soot. A pile of robes, once ivory-colored, lie in the center of the room. They are soiled and stained with excrement. Yuck. Looking carefully, you find an intact white robe in the rafters overhead. It has a cow edged and embroidered with the reddish-pink whorls and lined with pale blue satin. Do we take it? This seems to be a vestry. A broken rondite bowl and ewer lying in a corner, apparently flung in anger and now shattered and useless. The interior of each is caked with a dry brown substance. Pieces of furniture are also scattered about, as are the torn remains of some brown garments and 3 stubs of brown candles. A flight of stairs descends to the southeast. 2 of the brown robes are a bit frayed but intact. The candles are normal, each about 3 inches long. 0 XP. Robes. Amanda, take a robe. And I guess Griselda, take a robe. Can you put the robe on over the studded leather? Yes. Okay. And Amanda can put the robe on. Already using robe. Yes, well, this is an evil robe that will blend in with the surroundings better. Am I meant to... Where was that? Southwest? The pillars here are white marble veined with ugly red. Yeah, we saw this. Alright, so this is where we want to be. I guess here, where we found the robes, is where we should descend. I want to thank you for joining me. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate your interaction, your viewership. I love all that stuff, man. I love you guys. Much love, peace, joy, and light to you, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.